Assalamualaikum and welcome to another episode of Project Zealfit 2.0. Today should be day number 26 or 27. Today is going to be a big day. A lot of things are going to happen, inshallah. Number one, the reach truck or the forklift or whatever you want to call it is going to arrive at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the contractor is going to come to look at the roof, the leaking roof, probably fix the upstairs restroom as well. Thirdly, the telco guys are going to come and install the fiber so that I'll have access to the internet. Fourthly, I ordered the borders for the rubber tiles. Lastly, especially with the arrival of the reach truck, I am able to clean up the storage area, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So once we have everything cleared up, I want to set up the strongman area. We should have enough space to do tire flips, maybe sled push, yoke. So in fact, the rope yoke that we have, that's another squat stand as well. So if anybody wants to use it to do their squats or bench, that's also doable. So that's what I'm looking forward to with the arrival of the reach truck. Okay, here's the mess that I was telling you guys about. So right there, we have all the frames of the pallet that came from Eleiko. So because we've ordered so many over the last few months, so we kept some and we use them usually for whenever we have a relatively large order from either Malaysia or Singapore. So these are good when you want to stack a lot of plates in it or small items. So that's why we kept them. On top of the rack, that's the table, my previous office table, and some of the things that I brought from the last showroom. Those also need to be rearranged and make sure that the items that I don't want will probably go all the way up on the rack. But the items that I do want will be right at the closer to the bottom. So for example, what you see behind me here, that is the white power rack. So I'm still trying to hawk it off, but it's very difficult to sell a power rack in Malaysia. And this particular one is white in color, so I'm still trying to sell that. We also have the rubber mats that came with that was given to us by Soft Surfaces. Initially, I wanted to do a special area where we lay down all these Soft Surfaces mats, but unfortunately we ran out of space, so I have to figure out where to best put their rubber mats as a display, inshallah. So I still have plans to bring in their rubber mats. It's not going to be cheap because most of these rubber mats have a very high duty on them, and obviously because they are very high quality, it's already expensive, and if you add duties and tax to it, it becomes even worse. Okay, I also have that particular box which has the accessories from my truck. So that is a personal item, and I have to put it all the way up because I'm not going to use it anytime soon unless I sell my truck. See the tires behind me? That's going to be its place. We're going to build another rack, as I mentioned. So there's going to be another rack that goes up all the way up here, so that we have more space to put stuff over there. Basically, in terms of storage, this space is more than enough, as I've mentioned before, probably for the next 2 or 3 years, inshallah. But who knows, maybe with your support and if our sales pick up even more, then it could mean that we run out of space. But that will be a good problem and a problem for another time. Over here we have the used plates that belongs to another customer. He has asked us to keep it for a while, for the time being, while he searches for a space for his gym. That right there is mostly things that I don't want to throw away and that I don't want to use as well. Maybe I'll just look through it again and see which items that I can really, discard and which I need to keep. So the whole area that you see here, once it's cleared off, we're going to have enough space for the powerlifting exercises or powerlifting workouts that you want to do, right? So the width is able to fit the rope yoke, and I think the distance is about, you can get, I don't know, maybe, what's this, 20 feet, 30 feet? It's almost a quarter of the whole space, so probably about 25 feet. Obviously, the reach truck has to be parked somewhere, but I still do believe that we're going to have ample space because the manual stacker, the pallet jack, the reach truck, they can go underneath the racks, and they're just going to be just on one side. Inshallah, so I don't know how big this reach truck is. In my mind, it's not going to be that big, but if that's not, but we'll see in the next couple of hours. I don't know what you can see on the video on my right here. There's the jet block. This is one of the things that I don't want to keep and I cannot get rid of. They're too bulky, they're too heavy, and it belongs to a weightlifting gym specifically, right? I don't see this in any other commercial gyms or in any boutique gyms. You don't really need something this big and heavy. I don't know why I bought it 5 years ago. Ever since, it's like being used so minimally, because you have to have a special place for it, like a special space, a special spot in your gym for this, because it's not meant to be moved around. Same with the jerk blocks. But the jerk blocks, I have them on the IWF training platform because those are easier to move, and some of the, or at least Alam, my temp staff, who is also a weightlifter, he usually uses it for training or training his clients. So I still don't have a place for this pull blocks yet. Hopefully we'll figure something out. I definitely don't want to put it up on the racks, because sometimes some people want to use it, so I want to keep it in the showroom so that people can see. Hopefully what I imagine in my mind will be the reality once the reach truck comes here, and I hope we do get the space, especially for the strongman workouts. I really want a space for them because we didn't have that in the previous showroom. I hope here they will have their own space. Okay, while waiting for the reach truck to be here, I just remembered that I haven't tightened the bolts on the Prestera half rack because remember when I told you that the stock wrench couldn't fit inside the hole. So I went out and looked for something which is smaller, and Alhamdulillah I found one. So this is very small compared to the one that I have previously, and I suppose if you want to get a Prestera half rack, you absolutely need this one. Okay, so there are 4 bolts that need tightening, namely this one right here and over here, and also on the other side. So there are 4 bolts that we need to tighten up. Alhamdulillah, finally the reach truck is here. Check that out. They actually spelled my company's name. This reach truck will reach a height of 4.5 meters and it can carry a load of 1.8 tons. I hope you can clear the... Oh yes, yes. I'm now at the control center of the reach truck, and I'm just going to show you some of the functions of this truck. I'm a little bit jakun. I don't know what's the word in English. Jakun is like, whoa, wow, it's so awesome, like you've never seen it before. I've never seen one before though. I've never operated one, so it looks pretty easy. The guy taught me the basics, but the most important part is obviously the maintenance of it and the safety aspect of it. So there are a few safety aspects of the reach truck that he showed me. So this particular button, very important. In case of emergency, I suppose I can just hit it and then it completely stops. Basically, there are 3 levers, and also this one controls the speed of which it moves forward and backwards, right? So this particular one makes it go up and down. You can see, and it goes up really fast, right? This one, the second one, tilts the fork. If you can see, yeah, okay. I still haven't got the hang of it. And the last one right here, this one makes the whole mast go forwards and backwards, like so. You see that? Yeah. So the harder you pull on the lever, the faster it goes. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to show you how this thing moves forward and backwards while holding the camera, so it's very dangerous. This piece of equipment is not a toy, even though it feels like it's a big boy's toy, but I'm not going to play around with it because this is, number one, expensive, number two, is very dangerous if you just, play around with it. So what I'm going to do is just start putting some of the boxes up on the rack, so I'll clear the space out first, and then bring them down one by one and sorting them out properly. Okay, I want to demonstrate to you guys how difficult this actually is. It is not straightforward. I've been trying to maneuver this thing to that box over there for a while now and can't seem to get it right. You see, sometimes the slightest touch makes this thing go forward really fast. And it gets so confused with the turning of the wheels, and I want to make it go straight. Look, I'm hitting the sides. So, as you can see, this is really hard, especially with this table blocking the way. So, this thing is an empty box. I'm gonna make my life easier. So I'm just gonna pull it to the middle, like so. I know I'm cheating, but who cares, right? As long as I get the job done. As you can see, it took me quite a while. Okay, now I can move forward. It's still turning. No, don't turn, bro. Bro, don't turn. No, I'm not. I don't want to turn. No. Straight. Straight. Okay, got it. Pick it up. Go up. Okay, let it go down. Oh, shoot. Okay, it's the end of the day. As I imagined, there's a lot of space, as you can see. So I've set up my working table right next to the rack, right here. If you can see right at the back over there, I still haven't moved the jerk blocks. Once I clear that out, then I have a little bit more space. It was very difficult for me to maneuver the reach truck when the jerk blocks were there. So I definitely need to move them to somewhere else, although I don't know where. But what I didn't foresee is that the reach truck is actually quite huge. So now the challenge is to make sure that we park it in a way that we have space for people to use this area right here. So as I mentioned earlier, we want to use this space for strongman. If you want to do tire flips, at least you can do 2 or 3 flips. And if you want to do what they call this farmer's walk or yoke carry, maybe 15 feet, 20 feet at least. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to park the reach truck like this, right next to the shutter, and see whether or not we can get that kind of space. Right now the yoke is actually on the wall near the restroom. It can serve as another squat stand for anyone who wants to use it. So that's the storage area. As you can see, there are also so many space left on the rack. We're still going to have our customized rack that we're going to build right over at above the restroom. However, these are not yet organized. I just wanted to get everything off the floor and clean it up because it was so dusty and dirty. But the problem is, what I found is that the more I do these things, the more I discover that I have a lot more work to do. Namely, like the area where I'm going to put my fridge and my water filter. I want to put the artificial grass that I brought in so that it looks a bit nice. But I have to cut the artificial grass to size, and sometimes it takes a lot of work. That thing is already dusty and dirty, and I just don't want to handle it. I just don't want to do it, but you know, just to brighten this place up. And I think the color green in the previous showroom actually brightened up the whole space. So I do want some green inside the showroom. Probably just sprinkle the artificial grass here and there where I can. But yeah, so that's one of the things that I still need to do. Unfortunately, today the contractor couldn't do their work because they came early, but they thought that I still have my scaffolding, but I loaned it to another contractor who's doing the reinstatement of the other showroom. So because of that, they just went home and have to reschedule. However, if they do come again tomorrow, we can use the reach truck for them to reach the roof. So that's not a problem. The other thing is that I bought the ledge for the rubber mats. They're crap, really. I do not like it. It doesn't look like it's cut to size. I mean, I understand there's tolerance, but this doesn't meet my expectation. However, it's still usable, and I'm still going to use it because I don't want people to, you know, sometimes they trip and then they might injure their ankle. So best to avoid that kind of incident. Alhamdulillah, another thing that we accomplished today is to install the fiber connection. So now we have internet. That means that I can bring my printer and I can do some work here, you know, without tethering using my phone. What is left is mostly the big items like the 2 platforms, the Zealfit platform, if you remember. So we don't have anywhere to use it. So most likely they're going to end up either on this rack or on the custom rack as a base. In any case, hope you find this video educational and beneficial. If you do, please give it a like. If you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button. Turn on the notification so that you'll be notified when the next episode comes out. Okay guys, thank you again for watching. Do leave your comments, give me some feedback, whether you like or you don't like the showroom. Just let me know what you guys think and what you want me to review maybe in the future, inshallah. So we have big plans for this new financial year. Hopefully we get to meet our targets, inshallah. Till the next episode, stay safe and stay happy always.